am loving this makeup today and it's all affordable. I've been testing out some amazing affordable makeup products that are brand new out on the market in the UK, and I've got to say, so many of them are triumphs. In this video, we're going to talk about the best of the best. There will be a part 2 though, coming very, very soon. If you're new here, hello, my name's Gemma. I am 45 years old, like to take good care of my skin. I really do love a high-end product, but I also love finding those diamonds in the rough, those affordable products that are seriously, seriously good, pretty much as good as their high-end counterparts. Sometimes even better. So let's get on with it. Let's talk about what I have on my eyelids to begin with, because these are absolutely exquisite, creamy, soft, very quick to apply, which I know is going to make a difference to a lot of people, but also very easy to blend out, and these do not go patchy at all. These are brand new from L'Oreal in the UK, and they are the Lush Shadow Sticks. I have them in 3 different shades. I am wearing all 3 shades at the moment, but you don't need to. This is a one and done shadow. If you just want a little bit of a pop in the center of the lid, so easy. Wipe it on, blend it out with your finger or a brush, and this is done. So I have the darker shade right at the outer corner just to add a bit of dimension. I don't have any powder shadows on my lid at all, and usually when I'm wearing a cream shadow, I go in with a powder shadow first just to build up that dimension and then go in with the stick shadow. Haven't done that today. Everything on my eyelid is just the stick shadow. So I've done my liner with this, I've done the outer dimension, I've done all over the lid with the medium shade, and then added a little bit of pop of light in the center with the lightest shade. These are all shimmery shadows, but so easy to apply and really easy to put on the go. So if you're wanting to transform a day look into an evening look, you can do that in an instant with these. Now, they don't completely stick to the lid, so I find that some of this comes off on my eyelash curlers when I go in with my eyelash curlers, but it doesn't lift entirely, so there is still product there. It doesn't go patchy, but it isn't one of those shadows that you're going to be able to rub your eye and nothing comes off on your finger. I need to make you aware of that, but I love them. So creamy, so smooth. This doesn't accentuate any crepiness or fine lines on my eyelids, and it also doesn't sink into any crepiness or fine lines on my eyelids as the day goes on. So as you see it is how it will be at the end of the day. I've probably had this on my eyelids now for around about 3 hours and nothing has happened to it. It is just lush. Next up, we've got a brand new shade of the Sky High mascara from Maybelline. This is the shade Plum Twilight, and I didn't think I was going to like this, but I absolutely adore it. I'm not a huge fan of the Sky High mascara. I am when I first open the tube, but then it tends to dry out quite quickly on me, and I can never get the amount of volume that I want from this particular mascara. But today, I just love everything about it, and I've been using it now for a good week and had success after success about this. I don't think it massively holds my curl, which is probably why I'm not going to be wearing this forevermore, but I love the shade. The shade is just so beautiful. It still looks black from a distance. When you get up close, you can just see a slight tinge of that purpley plum shade. This is going to be unreal if you have green eyes, because it will really make your green eyes pop. So highly recommend it if you do have any green in your eyes that you're wanting to emphasize. That includes hazel eyes. If you're wanting to emphasize that little bit of green within your hazel eyes, this shade is just superb, and I do think it brings out the green in my top, even though it's really quite far away. I just think the green pops more in my top because of the shade of my mascara, and it's so subtle. So again, still looks black, but it's just a little bit of something special. I really like it, and I have managed to build up the volume in my lashes today. But as the day goes on, my lashes do tend to flop a little bit with this formula. It doesn't bleed and smudge though, so really happy with it. I just love it. I love the shade. It does come in other shades as well. There is like a maroon ready shade. There's also a blue. So other shades are available, but this is the one that is new, and I've got to say it's my favorite. Glowy foundations and products to give you even more of a glow are really, really in at the moment. Every single foundation that's released at the minute seems to be a glowy foundation, and that is great for some people. I do like a little bit of glow, but sometimes, especially in my oily T-zone area, it can be a little bit much for me. So I need to tone it down somewhat just to give it a bit of longevity throughout the day. And the way that I do that is by powdering it down a little bit, but that takes a bit more effort throughout the day because you have to continuously powder it every couple of hours or so to dim down the shine. What really, really helps though is to add a mattifying primer on underneath the glowy foundation. So if you have a foundation that you feel like you can't get away with because it's just slightly on the cusp of being too glowy, add a mattifying primer. It should really help to slightly dim that shine down and create longevity for that foundation throughout the day without it getting overly oily and greasy and shiny. This one is stupendously good. It's from Collection and it's from the Primed and Ready range. This is the mattifying primer with a matte finish. This looks clear, very, very similar to the Studio Fix primer, but not as heavy. So I find this really quite lightweight. It's smoothing, it's blurring, and it's mattifying. It creates the most beautiful canvas for your foundation or concealer to sit on top of. And you can definitely see the difference between the two sides of my face when I've got one side with the primer on and one side just bare skin. It really does work and it adds the longevity that I need throughout the day. It doesn't hold back all of the shine, which is why it's not a drying formula. This is incredibly lightweight and I don't find that this dries out my skin at all, but it will add a little bit of radiance throughout the day when your natural oils come through it, but so much better than when I don't have this on. It definitely doesn't suck out all of my natural oils and leave my skin like the Sahara Desert, but it does the job that I need it to do, and my skin looks and feels much smoother and less glowy, which is exactly what I want. If you like a light coverage concealer, if you want something that is crease resistant, feels incredibly cooling and calming on the under eyes, incredibly lightweight and beautiful on the skin, you need to check out this next product. I love this. I love the applicator because it's metal and it just feels so refreshing on the under eye. It's a very light, very serum-like consistency, and it's beautiful on my under eyes if I'm wanting a light coverage. This is buildable. It's from Revolution and it's the Skin Silk Under Eye Brightener and Concealer, but I always am a bit wary of building up concealers. And I think it's always a really good idea to buy the coverage of a concealer that you require. So if you require full coverage, buy a full coverage concealer instead of buying a medium coverage concealer and trying to build it up, because the more you build it up, the more chance it is that your concealer is going to crease throughout the day. So I do like a full coverage concealer, especially on my under eyes. So this isn't one that I'm going to reach for really, really often. However, it's such a beautiful product. I needed to mention it because a lot of you don't want full coverage. A lot of you want light coverage to light medium coverage. And if that is you, this is stunning. I've worn this all day on several days with no creasing whatsoever. I do powder over the top of it. It doesn't hinder the concealer at all. It doesn't dry my under eyes out if you get the right powder to add over the top of this, but it's such a pleasant concealer and does exactly what it needs to do. It covers, it brightens, it conceals. There is an issue with this that it only comes, I think, in 6 shades, so I think that needs improving, and it shocked me a little bit because Revolution is usually so good at shade range. Do be warned though, if you are sensitive to caffeine, this does have a little bit of caffeine within the formula. I've been wearing this on and off for around about a week now, really testing it out, putting it through its paces, and I haven't seen any dryness underneath my eyes yet. But if I was to wear it every single day for a month, I've got a feeling that I probably would. So if you are sensitive to caffeine, one to maybe just think twice about, but this does have hyaluronic acid in here as well and some other really nourishing and softening ingredients. So, you know, I'm a fan. Rimmel have introduced their multitasker, the 3-in-1 bronzing stick, which is absolutely divine and works so beautifully on my skin. Again, very quick, very easy, but it depends on your skin type whether I would recommend this for you. If you have a really oily skin, this probably wouldn't last 2 minutes on your skin because it does have quite an oily, wet consistency, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's great for those of you with a dry skin like me, but not so much if you do have an oilier skin because this may slide off your face. Also great if you have a dry skin, if you're wanting something seriously quick to apply, because of the consistency of this, it just taps into the skin, it melts, it becomes one with the skin, regardless of whether you have foundation or concealer on, or whether you're just wanting to apply this to bare skin. It's perfect for both of those. So normal skin, dry skin, slight combination skin, absolute perfection. If you have an oily skin, probably not. Because of the consistency and the fact that this is so quick to tap into the skin and blends out so well, sometimes it can blend out a little too well, and because of that, I always go for the deeper shade in this rather than the lighter shade. So you would think I'd be 001 light. I'm not. I'm actually 002 medium. That is so much better for me. If you have even fairer skin tone than me, then you probably want the light 001. But I do find that if you're wanting that impact of bronze, you're gonna want to go for the 002 medium if you have a skin tone like mine. And it just gives you that glow. But this, absolutely beautiful, and yeah, so easy and quick to apply. Up next, another glowy product, and if you have a lot of texture on your skin, a lot of open pores that you want to disguise, this probably isn't going to be the product for you. However, it's well worth going into store and swatching this and seeing what you think, because it is so beautiful, super, super beautiful. I have this on my cheeks today. The glow is real, but I don't feel like this is too much of a glow for me to not be able to get away with. This isn't a highlighter sort of glow that you can see from the other side of the street. This isn't that sort of highlighter that you can, you know, see that you've got sparkle on the skin. This is beautiful and glowy and is definitely a blush. I was worried that the Lumi La Liquid blush from L'Oreal was going to be more of a highlight and I would only be able to use it that way. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. I have this all over my cheek, and the thing that I really like about this, it's not too punchy on the pigment, so you can really whack this on the cheeks. It's so hydrating, it's really cooling and calming on the cheeks, and yeah, it just gives you that beautiful, youthful glow that I absolutely crave for, especially when my skin's feeling a little bit dull. So I've teamed this with a glowy foundation today. Usually I wouldn't do. Usually I would team it with more of a natural matte foundation with a mattifying primer underneath it, so that this is really the only bit of glow that I have on my skin. But, I mean, as you can see, it just looks really, really natural, really beautiful, just like I've got a glow from within sort of look. And finally, my favorite product in this entire video. I could talk about this for hours, don't worry, I'm not going to. We're going to really quickly glide through this like the other products. It was a really difficult decision what my favorite product was actually going to be, because all of the products featured in this video are superb quality, but these have a level of luxuriousness to them that I was not expecting. These feel luxurious, these feel satin smooth, these feel super, super expensive, very classy, very elegant. You feel them. If you had your eyes shut, if this was a blind test, I would think, I can't afford these. And yet, they're L'Oreal. They are L'Oreal, and at the moment, I bought these on a 3 for 2, so even better, in my local Boots. I don't know if that offer is still on, but definitely go and check it out, because I definitely got 3 for 2. I bought all of these products with my own money, by the way. None of them came in PR. Not that that would really matter, but I'm just, you know, letting everybody know. So glad I bought these. So glad. These have a minty flavour to them, which I adore. They do have a slight tingling. They do have that slight plumping effect. You can feel a little bit of tingling on the lips, but it's nothing uncomfortable. It's nothing like a burning sensation like I've had with other lip plumpers in quite the recent past, actually. But yeah, I love these. My mum and I were actually sat in the hospital with Beatrice. Don't ask. She's absolutely fine, by the way. Don't worry about it. But we were sat in the hospital, and I'd got this on that day, and I got it in my handbag, and I passed it over to her and said, you need to try some of this because it's just so, so good. And she popped it on, and she was just like, oh, that's so nice. Really is creamy, but very, very lightweight. It feels hydrating, it feels nourishing, but again, super light, really glossy without looking jammy, because it's not a thick consistency. It's really quite a thin consistency. And the shades, although they're not opaque, that you would expect that from a gloss, there's definitely enough opacity in here to warrant using this as a standalone lipstick. Although these are a gloss and you wouldn't expect glosses to last for a really long time, I do think they have quite good longevity on these. If you are going to be eating anything, you are going to have to reapply afterwards because they will lift, but I love them, and I wouldn't mind reapplying them every single second of the day because it tastes so nice. So they are my top 7 best of the best affordable makeup products that have just been released in the UK. Yes, you've had them for quite a long time in the US. We get everything late here, but that's okay. If you have tried these already, please share your thoughts and experiences with everybody in the comments section. There will be another affordable video coming very soon for all of the products that didn't quite make it into this video. We're going to be talking about the pros and the cons, what to expect if you buy them, who they're going to be best suited for, who they're not maybe going to be best suited for. So definitely stay tuned for that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.